ghrāṇena pṛthvyāḥ padavīṁ vijighran. So ghrāṇena means smelling. This word comes many places in Bhagavatam, wherever the senses are being used. So smelling called ghrāṇena. Pṛthvyāḥ means earth. So, and he is doing padavīṁ. Padavīṁ means situated. Vijighran means searching. So how the Lord is searching the earth? By smelling. Because it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter, Punyo gandha pṛthvyāḥ cha. So the earth, or the original fragrance of the earth, is very specific. So the Lord was searching the earth, as we know the context, when Brahma had asked to Swayambhu Manu to go there. He found earth was not there. So that has happened in the first mantra. The same thing got repeated when earth was gone into the again Garbhodak ocean by Hiranyaksha. So the both incidences are being depicted in this. When Vidura is asked to Maitreya, so he was explaining where both the incidences are correlating. So anyway, that we have discussed. So the very specific smell of the earth is that. So that's the reason it is said that he punyo gandha pṛthvyāḥ cha. So Lord was searching that through his smell. So it is said ghrāṇena pṛthvyāḥ padavīṁ vijighran. Then kroḍāpadeśaḥ svayam adhvarāṅgaḥ. Kroḍa means hog, barha, kroḍa. Apadesha svayam, svayam means himself. Adhvarāṅgaḥ, anga means body. And adhvara means transcendental. So, even though the body of a hog, or the Lord took the body of the hog, even though it was the hog body, but still it was transcendental. Advaitam, achyutam, anadi, anantarupam. Adyam Purāṇam. So the Lord has, how many forms Lord has? Unlimited. 3rd chapter of 1st canto says, asankhiya, innumerable form. And analogy is given, how many form? As many waves in ocean. So no one can count how many waves are there in ocean. They continuously keep coming. Similarly, the Lord has innumerable form. And kroḍāpadeśaḥ svayam adhvarāṅgaḥ. So Lord was, there is advaitam, achyutam, anadi, anantarupam. So Lord has different form, but they are non-different to each other, one sense. Like Brahma gives the analogy in Brahma Samhita like a candle. First candle is you are lighting up the other candles. So all the candles are equally powerful. So even though the Lord took the form of a hog or bara, in material sense, hog is not very appreciable form. Or his activities are not very appreciable. But when the Lord took the form, as bara, this form is called Adi Baraha. This form exists eternally into the spiritual world in the Vaikuntha. Somebody may ask, why the Lord took the form of Bara? We can drive out some meaning by our tiny brain, but it's all his transcendental pastime. There will be some correlation here and there, because it was in the nether region where the lot of dirt is there. From picking up something from the dirt is done by the hog. So there could be some regions. But unless we hear from the authority, unless we hear from the Lord himself, unless we hear from the pure devotee, it's very difficult to understand this transcendental pastime. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo bhetti tattata tyakta deham punarjan niti mameti surjana. So the Lord for some may thinks, why? What is this? Let's say some other part of the world who is not Hindu, who is not this, you read, what is this? His God is Bara, is a hog. What is this all about? They may not be able to conceive. So when we hear from the pure devotee or hear from the Lord, then we can understand. Then it says, karāla-daṁṣṭro. Daṁṣṭro means teeth. Om namo bhagavate narsimhaya namastejas tejasi avir bhava vajnakha vajdaṁṣṭra karmasayam randhay gras om swaha. So where the daṁṣṭra, so like Nrsimha also has a very fearful teeth. So here also karāla-daṁṣṭra, karāla means very, very fearful. Daṁṣṭra means teeth. Api, even though his teeth were very fearful, akarāla-dṛgbhyām udvīkṣya viprān. So when the Lord saw with a pleasing glance towards viprān means Brahmana devotees. So it was very, very pleasing to the devotees. So, as we discussed in the last class too, like Nrsimha, the form was very, very ferocious. Even including Brahma, Shiva, many demigods, including also Lakshmiji. She is the better half of the Lord. She was fearful by seeing that form. But the very same form was very much pleasing to devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada gives an analogy. The lioness, she is very, very fearful to others. But the cub, her own son, he comes and embraces and play with the lioness. So the very form which is very much disturbing or fearful to others, but the very same form looks very pleasing to his dear devotees. Similarly happened when the Lord, when he appeared as a Krishna, and when we enter into the arena of Kansa, fighting with that, that fighting was arranged. So when he was entering, different devotees or different kind of persons having a different view. Pada writes very beautifully in the Krishna book, or even explained in the Bhagavatam, when he was entering into that arena, so there was some jnanis, so they were seeing as a Brahman. Same Krishna Balram, he was looking as a Brahman. There are some yogis, he was seeing as a Paramatma. And there are many cowherd men in the women has come from Vrindavan, including Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, they all had come. So for them, it was like their small, very dear, beautiful child, Sham Sundara form. And there was sitting was the Kansa, or Kansa, what you are seeing as a death personified. Same Krishna. So, Prabhupada gives the analogy that Beduriya stone, Prabhupada gives in this context. Like Beduriya stone, if you have that, there's some particular called a stone, if you see from different angle, it resembles different. So that's a reason to understand Krishna is very, very difficult. Sevan mukhi jivado svayam smritya. Unless Krishna manifests or desire to manifest, we cannot understand Krishna. We may try by some means, with some logic, some intelligence, but unless Krishna gives us the right understanding, right intelligence, dadami buddhi yogam tesam satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvaka. So unless Krishna gives the right intelligence, we cannot understand. So Prabhupada said, we can only sincerely serve and pray to the Lord, please help me. So the form which Lord has, having the hawk, even though it's a hawk form, but is completely transcendental. And as Lord, any form, the Lord is a transcendental. Even this universal form, which is nothing but this, the structure of the universe is also transcendental. Isvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Advitam Achyutam. So all form of the Lord is completely Satchit Ananda. Not only the Lord, even his dear associate in the spiritual world, all they have a completely transcendental form, spiritual form. In the spiritual world, Lord always has, but his dear devotees also has completely fully spiritual form. Then what is the difference, the form between his devotees and him? What is the difference? Yeah, so we have discussed, Prabhupada says, Krishna, body and soul are the same. There's no difference. His soul, even if he descend in this material world, aujananti ma mudha manasim tanam ashritam. When the Lord descend, foolish people, generally Mayavadis, they think, Lord has Brahman form. When he comes, he takes the form, material form. No. So the foolish person have no knowledge, and Krishna covers with Yog Maya. He is not visible to everyone. Like Kunti Maharani says, the Lord covers with his curtain of Maya, so that nobody can access. So even the associate of the Lord also a transcendental form, and our form is also, one sense, or in the real sense, also very spiritual form. But because of our material desires or enjoying sense gratification, our original spiritual form has been covered by two layers. One is subtle covering, one is another called gross covering. Form itself is never get contaminated. We are part of Krishna, we are same Satchidananda. This never get contaminated, it get covered. And the covering comes because of our desire to enjoy independent of Krishna or sense gratification desire. So that's beautifully explained in the 15th chapter how we get the body, certain body. So it is said that the 15th chapter 8th sloka, Sariram yad avapnoti yad chape ut kram tishwaraha grahitva grahit vaitani samyati vayur gandhan ivashyat. Like a vayur gandhan ivashyat. Like you have a flower. How the smell comes to your nose? The flower is here. By vayu takes the fragrance of a flower and brings to your nose. Fragrance never mix with the vayu, with the air. It carries. Similarly, the different conceptions, inclinations, liking, disliking of a jiva carried by the subtle body after the death and goes into the another gross body. So we get a certain body, gross body, depending on our something called pravrittis, inclinations. Why 84 lakh different varieties of body exist? Because there are 84 lakh different ways by which jiva is looking for sense gratification. So our inclinations, our desire, our liking, disliking will force us to accept certain body. Along with the karma is anyways there, but very important, our liking, disliking, our inclinations, our attachment to certain thing will force us to move certain body. So how much careful we must be if you're developing some liking, disliking or kind of certain inclinations. Unwillingly, we have to accept that body. So, the transcendental goes, the living entity is in the material world carries its different conceptions of life. Conception means not to in our head. Concept means it's not reality. Concept, this is in your head. So the living entities in the material world carries a different conception of life from one body to another as a air carries aromas. Thus it takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. So it's a beautiful purport. I will read some portion of it over the right. Here the living entity is described as Ishvara. Living entity is Ishvara? Yes or no? Yes, Ishvara of this body. And this is secondary Ishvara. Primary Ishvara is only Krishna. Now, primary proprietor of this body is Krishna. We are only the, like if we got this body on a, Prabhupada is like a kirayadar, rent pay. So this originally belongs to Krishna. So if he likes, he can change his body to the higher grade. And if he likes, he can move to the lower class. Minute independence is there. The changes his body undergo depends upon him. At the time of death, his consciousness, his inclinations he has created will carry him on to the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat and dog, both are saying, he is sure to change to the cats and dogs body. So as we know, each species has certain kind of inclinations. For the case example, those are too much sexually inclined, they move towards the dog body. Those are too much inclination. Those who have a desire. Maybe outwardly he's not doing, but he's carrying the heart. So we have to be careful. So he is sure to change his body to ox and God. And if we fix his consciousness on godly quality, he will change into the form of demigods. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to the Krishna-loka in the spiritual world and will associate with Krishna. It is associated with Krishna. So when we change our body, we carry our inclination consciousness. So that's the reason Krishna consciousness means our liking, disliking, our inclinations, all the things should be in relation to Krishna or to pleasure for Krishna. Like even the Buddhist, what is the Buddhist says that after you die, what is the philosophy? Buddha philosophy is Sunyavadi. Like Chanmak also. Bag borrow, steal, ghee khao, maja karo. Who's seen the next life? So this all Chanmak that. So Buddhists also similarly, they say when you die, everything is over. But Buddha, they know our cause of suffering of material desire. So they go nirvana. So they also know that as long as we carry material desire, we have to suffer. As long as we carry the material desire, we have to suffer. So, or which sloka Bhagavatam talks about the sense gratification is a illusory or it is miserable. The one particular sloka where the Bhagavad Gita is talking about our sense gratification. Generally, people want to run after sense gratification. They want to think this is so nice. But Bhagavad Gita is very explicitly described. What is that sloka? Ehi sam isparsaja bhoga duk yonav evite ad antabant konteya na te su ramate oda. Some sparsaja bhoga. We get some pleasure when the senses come in touch with the sense object. Eyes want to see the beautiful thing, because all senses they run after. So we think this is pleasure, but Bhagavad is saying that is the source of miseries. Duk yonav evite. One class Madhu Pandit Prabhu was mentioning, actually more sense gratification enjoyment, more opulent in this material world, if he is not a devotee, is actually a punishment for them. So that he can be tied up with the rope of Bhogeswar Prashaktanam Tyapradechetasam Vyosatmaka Buddhi Samadona Vidyate. Because he has a lot of things to enjoy in his life, very royal, very aristocratic life, and everything, all so-called 6 opulences, some degrees they have, beauty, knowledge, and very intelligent, good family, everything. So he's got stuck there, he cannot move. His determination to follow the spiritual path, bhakti will not be there. Samadhona. Today morning also we read the quote, determination. Very strong quote today morning, Prabhupada was mentioning. If you cannot follow the rules and regulations, then why you joined? Why associated with this Krishna consciousness is a farce. Fake Prabhupada, very strongly Prabhupada saying. So if we cannot follow the certain, we have come to a very responsible place. Prabhupada says, your actions people judge me by your actions. So, Yeah, and that too also not only judge and the innumerable sufferings awaiting if we run after that path. And even though some may think, Prabhupada gives example, if happiness and sense gratification, then what Prabhupada says? How long? How long you can enjoy? Anyway, the body become old, invalid, and more so you have to die one day. So even the Buddhists also understand this also. Because our cause of suffering in this world, our sense gratification. They also want to come to nirvana, to finish his body. But no, that is still there. But further explained by the Sankaracharya. He said, you are not simply this, you cannot finish, you have a spiritual form. And unless the mind is peaceful, we cannot practice any kind of spirituality. And how to become peaceful is in the 71 verse in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it says, Vihai kaman yah sarvan pumamsh charati nishpraha nirmamo nirahankara sa santim adhigacchati. Vihai kaman yah sarvan pumams charati nishpraha. So it is said that a person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desire. So free from desire means free from material desire. So unless we become completely free from sense gratification and desire, is a great tapasya. Because mind, intelligence or senses, they pull in all directions. The third chapter Bhagavad Gita last says, where is the lust? The enemy has very captured the very static places: mind, intelligence, and senses. Hierarchy also mentioned. No, the gross body, then further senses, then mind, intelligence, the soul. This should be the right hierarchy. But in this, our material concept of life, hierarchy become top-seated. Now, boss supposed to control the subordinates. But what happened? Subordinate became the boss. Now, the servants should adhere to the master. But what is happening here? Master is very obediently following. And that is sloka we have. Very obediently following the order of a servant. So the strategic position captured by the lust called mind, intelligence and senses. And in the right way, mind should give instruction to the senses, or mind should follow the intelligence. But sometimes senses become so strong, it will not hear the mind. It won't hear the intelligence. Or sometimes when intelligence is corrupt, it will convince you to do the sense gratification. What is there? Only one time more, that's it. Last time. You say, let us do last time, will not do now, not. So that's the way now we make some commitment and we break same commitment, because there's no determination, is not there. Unless these all three get purified, senses, mind and intelligence. ना ये तीन चोर हैं, दो सुधर भी गया तो जो तीसरा है ना वो दूसरों को इन्फ्लुएंस करेगा चोरी के लिए. Mind, intelligence and senses. Even if two things, senses okay, but mind will pull sometimes intelligence will drive the mind. What is this? So they all should be purified. So that's the reason it is said when you do devotional service, our senses, mind and intelligence, all three should be engaged in service of Krishna. Sometimes mechanically we do some work. That may be little good, but it's not the best. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anushmayuddhata maya arpit manobuddhi. So you fight with the senses, and also mind and buddhi should be engaged in service of Krishna. So if this all three are completely engaged, then there's a possibility of thinking of Krishna. So a person who is giving up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship. Sense of proprietorship is coming for nirmamo. Nir-ahankara means divide of false ego. He alone can achieve real peace. Real peace can achieve three things has to be there. Giving of all desire for sense gratification. Second, sense of proprietorship. We think I am the proprietor, and sense of false ego. Like the yagya tapshan. What is sloka? Bhoktaram tapshan. Sarvalok vansham. Suhridam sarvbhutanam santem rishyate. So these sloka both are almost same. Here saying don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Here saying you things like this, things like this, things like this. All santem rishyate. So who is the bhokta? Who is the enjoyer? Krishna. So don't have sense gratification to that, because Krishna is the enjoyer. Second, Sarvalok. Who is the proprietor of everything? Krishna. Even this, our senses belongs to Krishna. Rishikesha means control, owner of the senses is Krishna. This body belongs to Krishna. Even the soul also belongs to Krishna. He is the proprietor, owner. So if we are not engaged completely in service of Krishna, then we are the cheater. Other day, Chandrapati Prabhu was mentioned beautifully in that class. Because everything what we have belongs to Krishna. If we use not aligned with Krishna, we are the cheater. We are the criminal, we are punishable. Why the suffering comes? Because we illegally, unethically using our senses, which is not recommended, which is not advised by the Lord. Because whatever we have it has been given by the Lord. So that Chandrapati Prabhu was very beautifully explaining. We use any service, we have to pay mobile bill. Same thing if we are using this body, it belongs to Krishna. So yajna means paying the bill kind of thing. So once we come to this real stage, then it comes, as we say now, Brahma Nirvalam Richati. Next sloka. Esa Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nenam Prapya Vimuhyati Sthitvasyam Antakale Api Brahma Nirvanam. So with Nirvana talking about the Buddhist is our body, but Brahma Nirvana talks about the Sankaracharya. So this merging. But here Brahma Nirvana being mentioned, Prabhupada the trans is called Kingdom of Lord. So with the Vaishnava understanding. So the Lord forms is transcendental and all is spiritual, but there is a difference between our spiritual form, the Lord forms. It is being mentioned in the in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Anyone remembers where it says Lord form is different from our form and also the forms which are in the spiritual world. Yasmat charam atitoham akṣarād api chottamaha tatosmi loke vede cha prathīt purushottama. So charam means we are chara. We are chara. We are fallible. Or akshara is? Akshara is who? Not Krishna. Here is being akshara is being referred to the pure devotees or nitya siddhas who are living in the spiritual world, the akshara. So yasmat charam atito aham Krishna is saying, I am atita, I am transcendental to chara, and also I am transcendental to akshara. So this sloka very clearly identifying the Krishna is different even from the pure devotees or the nitya siddha which can never fall down from the spiritual world. They are different. Like the only one Supreme Lord. There's no two. Even the Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they all may be akshara, spiritual world, but they are not Supreme Lord in that sense. So yasmat charam atitoham akṣarād api cha uttama. He is uttama. From chara and akshara, he is above. Ataha asmi loke vede cha prathita purushottama. So that's called purushottama. It says that transition, because I am transcendental beyond both fallible and infallible. Prabhupada writes beautiful purport. Fallible means be conditions of, infallible means unconditional. Those are nitya siddhas. Because I am greatest, I am celebrated both in this world and the Vedas as Supreme Purushottama. And one who knows like this, yomam evam asammūಢo janati purushottama sa sarvabhid bhajanti mam sarvabhavena bharata. So those who know me, I am beyond chara and akshara, and without any doubt, if one knows me, I am a Purushottama, then he knows everything, and then what he will do? He will engage with loving devotional service. So the form of the Lord here being described in this sloka is a very, very transcendental form. And if one is Buddha, intelligent person, he will not engage unnecessary in sense gratification. Naramate Buddha. And he will utilize every moment his time for serving Krishna. Otherwise, it is mentioned in the Viṣṇu Purana, Sahanistam mahachidram samoha sacha vibrama yan muhurtam charan vapi vasudevana chintet. This is, can you see, very strong. Yan muhurtam charan vapi vasudevana chintet. If we miss remembering Krishna even one moment, now we don't want to lose anything. So, yan muhurtam charan vapi vasudevana chintet. If we miss one moment remembering Krishna, sa'an is what a great loss. Mahachidram samoha sacha viprān. What a great illusion. If you miss remembering of Krishna in even a moment. So that's satyam kirtyanto mam. So never forget, always remember Krishna, never forget him. So that remembrance will help us to purify our, and will come to platform where we can release remembering Krishna, and all the knowledge will manifest. Sa sarvabhid, by knowing Krishna, by remembering Krishna, and And Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes, the name of Krishna includes everything. His lila, his pastime, or his name, fame, everything is included in the holy name. So when we come off the platform to chanting the holy name purely, we can able to access Krishna completely. And one place in Chaitanya Charitamrita Prabhupada write, the servant of Krishna means we have to become servant of holy name. It's beautiful. One of the Purport Prabhupada is writing in the CC. The servant of Krishna means you have to become servant of holy name. And servant of holy name is you have to chant, we have to serve the holy name, and we have to spread the holy name. By doing so, become the real servant of Krishna. So here we see the form, even the hawk form is the form of the Lord, a transcendental form, and by smelling he could able to find the form, and he brought the then on the putting on the tusk, bring the earth and put in the right place. So I will stop here. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Go Prem Nande Hare.